We got these games coming up. We can talk about that.
All right. Without further ado, this is Logik Over Everything. I'm your host, JG. And I got Logik on the cast with me. Salute.
Checking in. What's up?
Salute. We got Bills. What's up, brother? What's going on, man? Infinite. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Let's do this, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
A lot of stuff going on.
Young Logan in the game.
All right. This is the sports cast, baby. So the first thing I want to touch is the crazy shit that came down this week with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie not only can play, not only is Kyrie Irving back with the Brooklyn Nets, right? He's back for the away games, right? There is a way that the Brooklyn Nets can pay his fines for not complying with COVID concerns, not complying with being vaccinated, right? He can play at home if they just pay the small fee of $1,000 for the first violation and $5,000, and it gets bigger and bigger. But the Brooklyn Nets are willing to pay that for Kyrie Irving to come back and play home games through the season now. So I wanted your thoughts, because I saw that first game he was back. I mean, to be honest, he's the reason they won that first game, that he was back, on the floor for them. He's just
a problem.
Right.
He's just a problem. He's a problem. He's another thing you have to deal with on top of the other things you have to deal with. And you can't coach your way out of all of these things. There's a lot of things you got to do. You can't coach your way out of all of them.
Okay, so what I want to know from you guys, and Logik, I'll start with you first since you sounded off.
Okay.
How much is Kyrie important to this team? Scale of 1 to 10. 1 being not that important, like they can win without him, or 10, like him being back is the most important thing to the Brooklyn Nets.
Before I say anything about that, I need to let you know that personally, I feel that it's important that the United States of America understands that Kyrie Irving won. He won. He fought the country. He fought the government. He won.
Facts.
And whether I agree or not, I do not agree. I do not personally agree. But as a black dude who loves other black dudes, homo, pause, everything, I respect the fact he stood on his square and he got what he's got. When you're looking at Brooklyn, it's very top heavy. I would dare anybody on this podcast to name 8 people that play for Brooklyn right now. It's very difficult to do so. If the 3 people you had, or the people we can name, that's Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, that's the point. And if your third person can be Kyrie Irving doesn't even have to do anything. He just needs to be present. He just needs to be physically present to draw things away, to make things easier for everybody else. So I would say 7 to an 8. I would think that they'll probably go to the playoffs without him. They could probably get to the Eastern Conference Championship without him. But to win a championship, they need that threat. They just need the idea that this guy can do stuff. Like, you got to put some out there for him. Because if you don't, he can get you 40 points. Yeah. And we know he can make big shots in big moments when it matters. So in a final series, let's say that, in a final series, when it's all on the line, having a guy like that, and understanding that guy might be the third guy.
Right.
It's a 10, bro.
Okay.
It's a 10.
Okay. All right. So Bills, so it's a 10 for you, Bills?
10. Let me show you. You get the game he came back, they win a crazy important game, right? That was at away. They come back at home and get fucking pulverized. Son can't play. He can't play you in and out. That fucks up the chemistry. That fucks up everything. If you don't get home court, then you got to play game 7 for whatever is the most important game of the series without him. It's like, what's going on? Like, he's the one, he's the most clutch nigga there. To me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want James Harden. His jump shot ain't all what it was at. That's why the other night he had 16 assists. That's another thing. James Harden plays better when Kyrie's there because Kyrie's the second option. Harden is just giving. He has like 17 assists the other night, and I didn't even see them shits.
Yeah, he did.
So it's like, and if you go back to when he first was acclimated into the system, he was running point guard. James Harden was running point guard. We was on the post talking about he's the best point guard in the league. We was on the cast, me and Logik. We was talking about how he was the best point guard in the. You know what I'm saying? So they all need him.
The league.
They only and he's the only one in real life that's not scared. He's the only one that
because he can
because he's been there already. He's been there already. Because
I'm not just a kid. I'm not just out here to just do this. I can actually turn on another thing and take the whole thing over.
Facts.
And your coach,
AMG,
the whole game plan, gotta understand. They gotta understand it. I'm passing right now, but I could stop passing and start bombing. And when
that's when they're the best team. That's the best version of them.
That's why they're the best, because everybody can bomb. Everybody.
The best.
Infinite. Let me let you get on this. So scale of 1 to 10, Kyrie coming back for the Nets. How big is it? 1 being elite it's not that big a deal, or 10 being like, yo, that shit is huge.
I'll give it a 9.
Shit.
I mean, just like Logic said, we all know Brooklyn is once again very top heavy. They're
pause.
Their front court.
Very much so. Super Chicago Bulls. Super Chicago.
Right, Super Chicago out here. Super Chicago out here.
Might get hurt.
We all know that. Yeah, we all know their front court is, old as shit. Like, they got old man Millsap, old man, Marcus, Aldridge, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know their front court ain't going to hold up. Right. Like I even said, when we were talking about in the NBA last season, I told y'all going into the postseason last year and after the season was over, we're going to see if Kevin Durant and James Harden will hold up physically. We already see how they already been out a multitude of games already. And Bills was talking about, how important Kyrie needs to be there for all the games. I don't believe so, because prior to COVID, we know Kyrie's never finished the season. He wasn't even on the team postseason last year. You know what I'm saying? So even if he only plays away games, you still have Kyrie. Like, some Kyrie's better than no Kyrie, right? Like, I'd rather have some type of soldier out there compared to none. So I don't think that's going to affect it that much. But overall, from a roster standpoint, they do need Kyrie once again. They sold the farm to get these three superstars. So it's either now or never. So.
Okay, and that's a cast first. That's a Logik Over Everything first. I think we all four agree that this nigga Kyrie is like 9-10. Like, it's the utmost importance. Like, they're not going anywhere without Kyrie Irving. So he won. He won. I think Logik touched on it first. Kyrie won. Like, he held out till they couldn't do without him. He just wasn't going to work until they could work with him. And now he's got his money, and he still kept his his stance. He ain't changed.
And the truth is he already got the jab. He got the jab. He's safe as shit. He good. He fine. This isn't even about that, fam. He's a different type of guy. This ain't even about that, fam.
Infinite, you were saying something. What would you say? Infinite, you were chiming in?
Yeah. I was just saying. I said when we talked about this a month ago, I told y'all if he stood on his square, that they have to. This is my whole point about everything we talk about. And I've been talking about for the past years, that a man being on his purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, you as a man, you had the opportunity to bend and wield your environment, to your will. And he did that. Like, they need him more. I said this. I clearly stated it in that.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So,
very clear about that.
So they had to submit.
Man on your team.
You had to submit.
Bruce.
Okay.